welcome in everybody. Hi, Mama. Hi,
Fluffy faces, tails that sway in the spotlight, here to stay. Love and laughter all aglow in this wonderful pet show.
Hello,
Fluffy
everybody.
faces,
How are
tails
you?
that sway in the spotlight, here to stay. Love and laughter all aglow
Hello. Hi, BB.
in
Hi,
this
Wes.
wonderful pet show.
Getting ready. We're getting started. Our special guest is
Trivia
already here, in
questions
fact. Hi,
and a new
BB.
segment.
Hi,
The
BB.
guests show off their pets,
Ooh.
from kitty cats to zebras.
Well, we got dogs tonight. Thank
Meow
you,
and
Westy.
snake, each one wants
Thank you,
it.
Westy.
Hearts of blood, dreams undaunted. Playful friends makes the show the best show on me.
Hey, we're the best pet show. Well, we're the only pet show. Thank you, Emoji J. All right. That was the beginning of this week's introduction. Um, you'll notice that that's Emoji J. He is my admin. He makes this beautiful introduction video every week. If you're just new here and this is the first time you're clicking in on Meow and Me, welcome. I hope you hit me with a favorite and I hope you come back a different day as well. Meow means make each one wanted. We are a featured show here on the Meet Group platform, which goes across, Scout and Meet Me, Zeus, etc. Now, if you would, please make sure you favorite these amazing gifters up here. But also, what do we do over this next hour? Well, we get started the same way every week. But I say hello, I do a little introduction. We do a little pet trivia. We are going to do cats tonight because this is our last show of the year, I think. Maybe, oh, no, one more. There's one more next week. It is my daughter's birthday that day, though. So I don't know. We'll see. And let's see. And then we have a special guest. Our special guest is Merc de God tonight. And then Cats Roar does Pets in the News towards the 9:40 time period right there. So if you're around, I hope you stick around for the whole hour. And if you're new here, I hope you hit me with a favor and come back again a different week and stay this week. Now we're going to get started with some questions. And the first one is, why do cats lick themselves? Is it to keep their wounds clean? Is it to evenly distribute oil? Is it to stimulate blood flow? Or is it all of the above? Hi, Bruce. Hi, Soul Ties. Hello, everybody. What do you think? Is it to do all of the above? Fred, how did you know? Fred, cats lick themselves for many reasons, including for comfort. I'm feeling nervous. Let me puke on myself now. No, okay. How far can a cat fall without dying? Is it 3 stories? Is it 7 stories? Is it 19 stories? Or is it any height cats can fall? Like, what do you think? Is it 19? No. Is it any? Oh, Fred, again, it's quite possible for a cat to survive at its terminal velocity of 60 miles per hour, as demonstrated by a study done on 132 falling cats on an average of 5.5 stories. Published in the Journal of American Veterinary Medical Association, 90% of the cats that's survived, yeah, albeit many required medical attention at the end. A cat in Boston, Massachusetts, survived a fall from a 19-story window with only a bruised chest. Yeah, and there are documented cases of cats falling 32 stories in New York City from New York City skyscrapers and actually surviving. Yeah, they landed unscathed. However, this is far from guarantee that they can go anywhere and be safe, but that's what we at least know of, okay? Who was the first cartoon cat? Was it Felix? Was it Pistol Pete? Was it Garfield? Or was it Heathcliff? Who was the first cartoon? Garfield? Good guess. Hi, Deborah. Felix? Yes, Felix is correct. Felix the cat, with his big bag of tricks, is one of the most recognized cartoon characters in film history. That's what's up. All right. Where do cats have most of their sweat glands? Some of you are sweaty right now, okay? But where do cats have most of their sweat glands? Is it paws? Is it nose? Is it bellies? Or is it their ears? Cats remind me, I got my gum in. I'm sitting over here chewing like, I got to take my gum out. Is it my ears? Ears? Good guess. Is it paws? Bruce with the win. Bruce, it is paws. Cats mostly sweat through their paws. A frightened cat may even leave a trail of wet footprints on the ground. However, because paws have too small of a surface area to do much cooling, cats have developed additional strategies to cope with being hot. All right, now, I don't know, some of you might be allergic to cats in here. Are you allergic to cats? Do you know what causes cat allergies? Because I do. Is it dried saliva? Is it urine? Is it dander? Or is it all of the above? What do you think? Oh, you're all allergic? It is all of the above. Cat allergies can be caused by several allergens, most often cat dander, which is dead skin, dried saliva, and urine. Yeah. All right. Some of you don't know this, but the Egyptians used to worship cats, okay? What was the punishment for smuggling a cat out of ancient Egypt? Was it death? Was it they got their hand chopped off? Was it exile? Or was it life in prison? What was the punishment for smuggling a cat out of Egypt? Hand chopped off? Death? Fred is correct. Smuggling a cat out of ancient Egypt was a serious crime, and it was punishable by death. Court records from that time period show that armies were occasionally even dispatched, to rescue kidnapped cats and bring them back home to Egypt. Yeah, okay. Well, like if you worshiped a cat, you would probably feel like you just got your God taken. What is a female cat called? Is it called a queen? Okay. Is it called a beach? Is it called a doe? Or is it called a dame? What is a female cat called? Is it beach? No, it's not beach. Is it a doe? No. Is it a dame? No. Guess what? It is called a queen. A female cat is called a queen or a molly. You can all address me henceforth as Queen Kitty. Yeah, okay. Queen Kitty 2.0. Yeah. I know. Okay, maybe that was too much. Was that too much? That was too much. Okay. Well, to be fair, that might have been too much. All right. How many muscles does a cat have in each ear? Okay. You've seen your cat's ears moving around, right? How many muscles do they have in their ear? Is it 48? Is it 20? Is it 32? Or is it 6? How many? 32? Yes, correct, Bruce. 32 individual muscles in each ear allow a cat to rotate its ears 180 degrees. That is incredible that they can move their ears around like sonar. Yeah. What was the name of the first cloned cat? Was it called CC? Was it called Chance? Was it called Max? Or was it called Little Nicky? What was the name of the first cloned cat? Max? Garfield? That wasn't an option, Brian. CC? Yes, born December 22nd, 2001. Okay. That was what it was. Okay, CC for copycat or carbon copy was a brown tabby and white domestic short hair and was the first cloned pet. Yeah. CC's surrogate mother was a tabby, but her genetic donor, Rainbow, was a calico. The first commercially cloned cat was Little Nicky, who cost his owner $500,000 or $50,000 rather, making him one of the most expensive cats ever. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Fred. What cat goddess, all right, going back to Egypt for a second, what cat goddess did ancient Egyptians worship? Was it Hecate? Was it Anuket? Was it Isis? Or was it Bastet? What ancient cat goddess did the ancient Egyptians worship? Was it Hecate? Was it Isis? No. Was it Bastet? Yes. Ancient Egyptians worshipped a cat goddess. You can also worship me if you'd like. Okay. Often represented as half feline and half woman, whom they called Bastet. Throughout most of ancient Egyptian history, she was a lioness, warrior, goddess of the sun. But Greeks occupying ancient Egypt toward the end of its civilization changed her into the goddess of the moon. We're almost done with our pet trivia for tonight. And then my special guest, Merk, is going to join me in the box. So please request a box, Merk. What is the name of Homer Simpson's cat? Does anybody watch The Simpsons in here? Is it Scratchy? Is it Snowball? Is it Santa's little helper? Or is it Itchy? What is the name of Homer Simpson's cat? Snowball? Oh, how did you guys know this? Like, The Simpsons have gone through a number of cats, most of which have all been named Snowball. They just keep naming a cat Snowball. Like, I don't know if you can relate. Maybe your parents had a buddy and then there was another buddy and then another buddy and you just kept having buddies. I don't know, but that was what The Simpsons named their cat. Okay. Like, I'm just saying. All right, this is the last question of the night, and then my special guest, Mark, is going to join me. What is another name for a cougar? And none of you better write Kitty Commander in the comments, okay? What is another name for the cougar? Is it mountain lion? Is it catamount? Or is it a puma? Or is it all of the above? Thank you, Brian. Mountain lion, catamount, puma, or all of the above? All of the above? You guys, other names for a cougar include puma, mountain lion, Florida panther, red tiger, catamount. Yeah, all of the above is correct. And that is the end of pet trivia for tonight. Now, you guys, welcome in if you're just coming into Meow and Me. We just ended up completing our pet trivia part, and now we're gonna have a special guest named Mark, and he's got his puppies here, and we are gonna have him in the box now. Go ahead and request the box, Mark. It is so much fun this time of year to see everybody's pets, and I hope you and your pets are having a good time this time of year. I don't know how many of you have any pet stockings for them, but I bet you some of you might. Hi, Mark.
Hey.
All right, let me make you bigger so we can also see your pets. I just have to figure out how to do it because my fingers are like smacking the screen, but not in the right. Can you see me doing it? Okay, why can't I get it to be bigger, you know? Ah, there. I made it bigger. You're so big now.
I'm so big now.
Maybe I'll make it. Well, no, you're good because we want to see the doggies too. Merk, okay, tell me about who do you have for pets?
Well, I have a blue heeler, an Australian cattle dog. I've had her for 4 years now. She's pretty amazing. And this summer, the summer we just passed, we decided to mate her with with a
Oh,
pit bull boxer. She had
oh my
6
God.
wonderful puppies. Um, wonderful time, never again. A lot of hard work. If you want to make sure the puppies are healthy and good, we were able to get good homes for them, but we kept one, and his name is Bruno. So now we have a mommy and son situation. He's 5 months old, and he is a mess.
Okay, so I mean, this is exciting. Okay, so what's your first dog's name?
Sativa Burger Dog. That's her name.
Sativa Burger?
Sativa Burger Dog. That's her whole name. Oh my God! I said her name. I said her name. All right, Burger. Come on.
Are you she's gonna come up and show off? Let's see her. Let's see her. Yeah, I'm down.
She's a big old cattle dog. She is chubby. She eats all the food. She's highly food motivated. She will do anything for a snack. I said the magic words.
I would almost do anything for snacks as well. So I'm not mad at that at all, you know?
And then I have Bruno. Bruno, come here, boy. Come here, Bruno Nacho Dog. His name is Bruno Nacho Dog. Okay, he is a pit bull boxer mixed with blue heeler. You know, he is such a mess. He obviously is looking at the camera. He's in there like, oh my gosh, is that a kitty? Like, yes, it's a kitty. It's a kitty.
I mean, yeah.
He's huge.
Okay, so
He's
this one's
5
name
months
is
old.
Bruno. You gotta tell me, okay, why did you name him Bruno, Mark?
That was my wife's idea. Okay, that was my wife's idea. Okay, it was my wife's idea, and we decided to even mate the dogs, but she wanted a puppy. So I said we might as well. You know, we're planning on fixing our dog Sativa. She's, you know, we wanted to wait before we fixed her, and to be honest, I wanted my dog to at least have the full life of at least having puppies and stuff like that. So, you know, we said, okay, once she has one litter, it was always the plan, and we met a family that had a beautiful dog. Honestly, where I'm live, they kind of, you're never gonna find a dog that's not neutered. And it happened one day, and he chose Sativa. He literally smacked her in the head and then peed on her, and he chose her.
Wait, what?
All life. Yo, I swear.
Okay, wait, back up, wait. On your life. Okay, so wait. Did you have like a doggy meetup, a doggy play
so check
date?
it out. I first met TJ, and I was like, "Oh my God, this dog is magnificent!" And I was like, the first thing in my head was like, "I hope he still got his stuff. I hope he still got his stuff." He stood up, and I was like, "He got his stuff." I'm like, "So?" I was like, I would talk to the lady. I was like, "Well, I have a dog. She's 3.5 years old," and he was like, "Oh, TJ's 3.5 years old. Oh, that's one of his puppies." I was like, oh, so he's had puppies before. I was like, yeah. So I said, hey, let's let him meet up. Like a few days later, my dog met the TJ. He literally patted her in the head. She bowed down and he peed on her. It was the weirdest thing in the world. I was like, Sativa, like, are you serious? I was looking at her like, are you serious? You just let this dog just pee on your head? And then after that, she got all close to him. I was like, and then we looked at each other and said, yeah, she's going to be in heat soon. Like literally 2 days later, called him up and said, yep, you're right. She's in heat. And we met up, got together. And that was the day that this little Bruno Psycho dog was born.
Oh my God. So,
I guess.
So this sounds like a lot like a Tinder hookup gone bad.
But
at least this wasn't.
Listen. Ain't nothing wrong with trying to get your dog some. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, she can't just go around and give it up to anybody. So I have to make a right choice.
But
have to make the right decision, okay?
Yeah, I mean that. Like, I'm here for it. I am here for it.
Look,
like,
I kid you not. I kid you not. Let me show you this mess. This is what's happening right now. This is every day. This is every day with these two.
Wow, they're really cool.
Every single day. Want to see something cool? Check this out. Check this out. The food motivation is real. Check this out. Look at this. Sativa, you gonna go up? You gonna go up, girl? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? You want one more? Oh, you gonna roll over? Roll over. Oh yeah, girl. Yeah, you know, get another one. Oh man, Bruno's crazy. Did you see Bruno? He's like, I ain't wait, I ain't doing no tricks. He tried to bite me. Sativa, up. She stands straight up. She's like, come on. All right, here, you want it? There you go, bag. Yeah, good girl. You gonna roll over again for the people? Roll over? Roll over? Oh yeah, girl. Anyway, that's enough of the tricks. Enough of the tricks. Okay, here,
I don't
Bruno.
know. I think everybody loves them. And how did you teach her how to do that? You know,
She taught herself. You see, she
right?
taught herself. One day, we had food, and then we had a treat, and we just had it up, and she ended up just balancing. What I mean, she does anything for food. We raised it up, so she just went up at the same level as the food was, literally. So then she started doing it every single time, and then we started telling her right before I said bag, and she'll get up there like this. Right before she eats food, because she's a savage. You put the food in the bowl and she used to just swallow it down. So we started doing a process of her before she eats anything. We say, hey, up, and she holds for a moment, holds, and we say, okay, get her food.
Okay, so why did you name Sativa?
Number one, because this is it's my medicine. And plus the people that we got her from, the dog that they had prior was a healer, and they called him Indica. He was a boy, and he was Indica. So when they got this dog, I ended up helping a lady out that was not going to be able to take care of her, pretty much. I met her in 4th of July 4 years ago, and the lady was there overwhelmed, and I said, hey, I'll buy that dog off you I told her I'll pay 100 above what you paid for her. And she just got her. And she said, you know what? This was an impulse buy. I'm gonna be honest. And I gave her the money, got her, brought her home 4th of July, 4 years ago.
It sounds to me like it was the right decision. I mean, she probably, if she was willing to give up her pet so quickly, you're probably right. It was probably overwhelming. And obvious, sometimes that's the way it goes. People get pet, they think they're going to be able to handle it.
Especially a blue healer. If you don't understand, these are working dogs. When we're talking about 24/7 on the job, she'll stay with me for a little bit, but then she's back on the perimeter, making sure that no sounds around my house. Like it's right. Crazy. Now that she has her puppy, they're just both on a chair right now. They're tearing up some sock. I don't know where they got the sock, but they tore it up. It's messed up right now. It's a wrap. I think they know that I'm on camera with somebody. Like, he's not gonna bother us.
Oh, you bother him if you need to bother him, Burke. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? The sock is done. It's done. It's over with. It's their sock now. As long as they don't eat it. At this point, as long as they don't eat it and I have to deal with it later, it's fine.
Okay. So you got Sativa by kind of like luck, really, right?
No, I don't think it's luck. I think I'm blessed. I'm so blessed with Sativa. She's my PTSD dog. I was on your show with another dog, like in 2022, I believe. It was Chico. Chico right now is in Arizona, where it's warm, where he doesn't freeze his butt off in Michigan. He didn't do good. He was getting older, and he didn't do good in the cold. So I thought about it. My aunt really, she has a whole ranch with a whole bunch of other dogs. He's the indoor dog right now. So he's very, very happy. He has his little girlfriend with him. And, after I gave him up, it was the best thing for him. Like, that's when I saw Sativa, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And I ended up getting her over.
Spotted she is. She looks like a Dalmatian almost, with as many polka dots.
She is a whole trip. She honestly, like, if I'm having an episode, anything, or she's on it. She puts her whole body on me. She just saw mommy walk by. She just said, "Oh, mommy." But she's amazing. She always pays attention. She does her job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got her. That was one of the main reasonings to get her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, and then like you just brought up a really good valid point. Like, she can sense kind of when you're starting to feel in that moment with the PTSD response. And she comes up, and one of the things she does for you is lays across your body. You
Oh,
know,
yes.
are there other things that she does for you, Mark?
She kind of like, honestly, she's my person. Okay, if I'm going through anything and anything, she's really noted on that. She comes to my side. She's always going to be the one to, I walk through that door, she's the happiest person to see me. You know what I mean? Hey, you know, especially right now, she's like, I need to go outside. She's knocking on the door right now.
I Chuck Norris wants to say hello. Come on, Chuck. He's like, can you hear him meowing over here?
They are tripping right now because do you know what it is? They've never really, I've just got back to streaming and they've never really seen me stream. You understand? So now that I'm on this camera, it's like they want all the attention. I mean, all the attention. It's like they can't stand it. Like, wait a minute, what is this thing that's keeping my Merc from me? Like,
Right? Yeah, I think Chuck does the same thing. And when I go on here, he's like, oh, why is she talking to the wall? Right? Thank you, Free Soul. Yeah, like they're like, hey, pay attention to me. Like it does happen, you know?
listen, like 5 months ago, I came back to streaming for a little bit, right? And my Lord, it was tough because Sativa literally knocked down my camera a whole bunch of times.
Oh,
She
wow.
come up to me, she looks at it, looks at me, and boom, hits it. Because her mind is, what is this thing? This is our time. This is our time usually. Yeah.
I can relate to it because Chuck Norris is not shy about letting me know he's upset that how dare I, you know? How dare I?
Look, okay, Bruno's a whole different story. Bruno, he sits here. He wants to have his butt on my chin, on my elbow, or on my shoulder, or anywhere in my body. That he just gets to sit there and be like, I won. I got to sit on daddy. Look at mama. Look, mama, I'm the favorite. And it just looks at Sativa like, I get to sit here. And this turns into a competition of, see what I can do that you can't do. And Sativa wants to sit on me. Then they both want to sit on me. And I'm like, okay, stream over. Like,
And yeah, like as you say this, Chuck Norris is throwing a mini fit on the ground right now. I mean, so I totally understand and get it for sure. Okay, what's your favorite thing about having both of these dogs?
oh, honestly, I think the favorite thing is to just see them just being together and just train call, meaning that especially Sativa, that my biggest thing was that she used to just, it seemed like she was bored. I can't play with her every single day, throw the ball every single day. So it like kind of like does dual things. Not only do we have another dog that loves to actually sit on you and lay on you and doesn't want to jump off and do all the other stuff, but when I'm not having time to play with her, she got a play friend which is her son. That's his forever. And now I think it's the favorite thing is now he's big enough to tug with her. So now they just tug of war every day. I don't have to hear. But you know what? I love the rah rah rah. It may be annoying, but I love it because it's what I wanted. I wanted my dog to have a better, fuller life and have fun, not be, in an apartment and just wait to go to the dog park to interact.
Yeah, no, it's fair. And Bruno looks like he's happy that he has somebody to play with as well. Like, to be fair, they complement each other.
Well, look, it's all he knows. It's all he knows. He was born to a mother that is like no quit, no energy, no lack of energy. It will go on and on and off. I think she's trying to create the most strongest warrior ever. Like, she's like, you're gonna be greater than me. Bruno, out of the kitchen, buddy.
I mean, he's gonna go sneak some more snacks out.
No, the thing is that his father is huge. The way my wife puts it is that you chose the biggest balls in the park. Like,
well, and too, like you said, there wasn't a lot of dogs that weren't already neutered.
Look, my dog that I had in New York when I lived in New York was literally a pit bull boxer. Her name was Grace, and she literally just passed just about a month before I saw TJ. So when I saw that dog, and I was like, I automatically knew that's a pit boxer, okay? And I was like, oh my gosh. And it was just perfect because he came out the same color as Grace. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, that's, yeah. Oh, that's sweet. That's just sweet, Mark. All right. What kind of funny things do these two dogs do besides eat your socks?
They surprisingly love the snow, okay? Like, I don't understand it. Like,
That's
they
good
was,
because you're in Michigan, right? So that's
no, look, okay? I've never seen two dogs so happy to jump into the snow neck deep and just run in there to the point that, yo, everybody knows that I have dogs, okay? Yeah, I'm telling you, because, yo, they left tunnels all through the snow. Like, man, it's the funniest thing to me because I'm like, you know what I mean? They have to be cold. And I know they're cold because when they finally come back, they're over here inside the couch, rolling on the couch, getting all warmed up. And I'm like, but y'all did this to yourselves. Like, they were made to be in Michigan, I'll tell you that much.
Okay, and it's funny, like you just gave everybody, their dogs can be like early alarm systems to let people know this house got dogs in it. Don't break in here. Don't break into this house. This house got some dogs. Okay.
It's ridiculous. I mean, if there's a car passing by in my parking lot, Sativa has to let them know, bro, don't even get any closer from here. Like, don't start barking. Pulls the shade. She pushes the shades off the door with the window on there, and she just gets up there and just says, "Don't even think about it." She broke so many shades, but you know what? It's a good thing. I don't correct that because that's protective. She's so protective, and I like it. She's doing her job. She's letting us know people around the perimeter.
Yeah. I mean, Chuck Norris does this well, but he doesn't break shades. I mean, he just.
Yo, look up an Australian cattle dog. They're like big little, they're like miniature jocks. Like they're just she ain't thinking more than that. All she's thinking is, this is in the way for me protecting my home. Like, she's not thinking.
I mean, it's fair. Now, okay, let me ask you some more questions. Like, what would you say? Like, how much time do you think you spend taking care of your dogs?
Whew. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? I think my dogs are part of my daily life. They're with me all the time. I'm usually with them, take them out, bring them everywhere, taking them with me if they're going with me. Man, they part of our family. You know what I mean? All the kids, each time they have their routine is based on all of us as the time that we're here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I say that, I ask that question because there's a lot of people around this time of year who are like, let me get a dog for my fill in the blank.
Oh,
And they're not ready sometimes to understand the level of time and commitment that it does take. So that's why I was asking that question.
Yeah, you know, that's the saddest part, you know, and I found it really sad when I was actually finding homes for the puppies. You know, if anybody wants to see these puppies being born, they're on my TikTok. You click on my TikTok, you'll be able to see them actually being born. You know, I filmed all of it. I was like, I went crazy. But
I might have to check that out, Mark.
man, look, having a dog is not just a little fixture. It's not anything like, oh, I have a dog. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time, especially if you're adopting a dog that comes with other habits and other stuff. You got to be patient. You got to understand that dogs feel things way deeper than we do. You know, you have to understand that they understand you, but what they understand is what energy you're giving them. So everything you do, make sure you're doing it with the right energy, and you're not going to confuse them. They're going to trust you. They're going to believe you. And most of the time, dogs will do anything for food.
And I mean, as a lot of times I will too. Like, it depends on the food, but overall, yeah. You know, like, oh, you're cooking. Yeah, that sounds amazing.
And hey, YouTube is a great resource, man. There's been people making so many videos on the way dogs are, make it easier. You know, there's no such thing as a bad dog, I believe. I believe there's just bad owners. And respectfully, if you are having trouble, there's ways to become better as an owner of an animal that, believe me, it understands you more than you understand you.
You know, I really respect that. You know, like I adhere to that as well. I don't think there are bad dogs. I think you have bad owners, or owners that don't know how to train that breed of dog, or know how to work with a specific breed of dog. And all dogs have different inherent traits. That's why there's different breeds that they specifically bred certain.
Yeah, it's a lot of people getting dogs without doing the research on their dog, you know? Like, I know so many people that get huskies and they just seen them in movies. They're like, I want a husky, but don't understand that that husky is bred. There's so many genetic things bred into that dog that they're not going to really do good in closed spaces. They need to burn the energy. If you don't burn it, they're going to eat your stuff. It's just the reality. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you don't have that in mind, I see so many huskies going to shelters. I see so many pit bulls going to shelters. People don't understand. I see a lot of healers going to shelters, or because working dogs, you have to understand, they were created for a specific purpose. You got to fill in that with something else. Most working dogs, you got to give them a job, or else they'll find their own job, and their own job is going to mess up your stuff. It always goes to messing up your stuff because they like your stuff, since you like your stuff.
I'm laughing because it's so true. I mean, if you're just coming into Meow and Me, welcome in. This is a featured pet show. This is Mark. We're here with Bruno and Sativa, his two dogs, and we are topping it up, talking about dogs and his dogs specifically, and what he knows about his dogs, and just talking about that. If you haven't favorited Mark, please click on his name. Favorites are free, and hit him with a favorite. He also has a link to his dogs being born up on his TikTok. So if you're on a TikTok channel, please feel free to click on his TikTok too and follow him as well on that TikTok. So you guys, thank you, Castle. All right, you know, I know I've asked you this before, but I can't help, because it's been a couple years since we've hung out here on the show. Well, probably 3 years, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's been a minute. Like, I know I'm an OG, or yeah, like I was just looking at that today. I've been on the Meet Me platform for over 5 years, so
Same.
Almost to 6.
Same.
You know, so like I get that. We're all getting older, Merc. We're all getting older. But you know, that's fair, right? We could just do this. That's the way it goes, you know. But what has owning Sativa and Bruno taught you about yourself?
Oh, I gotta learn patience. Patience. It taught me a lot of patience, especially with Bruno, because it was interesting. You know, I had Sativa ready to go, and she was doing really, really good. But when Bruno started doing things that puppies do, instead of Sativa showing Bruno what to do good, she kind of started copying bad behaviors.
Oh, okay.
Since she was seeing him getting away with it. So I think the most challenging would have been, it's like, man, it's just challenging. I had to realize to be patient, and just be more patient, just continue the same process, be consistent. And now he don't have to be in his kennel all day.
No, and that's fair. Like, you know, patience is a big virtue all the way around, even with humans, you know, and dogs, humans and dogs both, you know, absolutely. Yeah, well done, Bruno.
You know what I needed more patience than anything is when Bruno started revenge pissing. Okay, so he would revenge. Revenge, like he literally did me dirty. Like he literally went outside, did everything he did, came over. My wife passes me the dog while I was on live, and he just pissed on my chest on purpose. On purpose. Then my wife didn't give him food. Then a day later, right? Didn't give her food off of her plate. He walks up to her blanket, literally her blanket and looks at her and then pees on her blanket. Oh man, I was just like, my got mad at my daughter, went and pissed out of her door. All I could call it was revenge pissing. And what we did in that moment, we were like, okay, you be in the kennel now. You lost freedom. And bro, on that, it took one day of being in the kennel for him to come back, and he hasn't done it again. He's like, okay, I get it. I get it. If I pee here, I get to stay in the kennel. If I be good out here, I get my freedom of being in the home. And
yeah, no, and that, I mean, how did you know to put him in the kennel to kind of curb the behavior of the revenge piss?
YouTube, YouTube. That's why I say, like, I sat there and I'm like, bro, it's not a basis that he doesn't, that he's having a loose bladder. It was a basis of him trying to hold dominance. He was trying to post dominance at 4 months old. Like,
yeah.
At 4 months old, he tried to show dominance. And you know what? If I would have got mad at him, like, oh, bad boy, right, it would have gave him a bigger energy. What I noticed is I looked at it happen. I said, okay, this is bad. I just put him in the kennel. So he can understand the freedoms that you have is because you don't do this. You don't pee in the house. You don't poop in the house. You don't tear stuff up. You don't end up in the kennel. And you only, from what I know, you only do that if you don't have to leave dogs in kennels for a certain amount of time. But you don't want them to think the kennel is punishment zone neither.
Right.
Our goal is not to have them in the kennel all the time. Our goal is to have them free in the house and have them good, that when we're not in the house, they can protect the house and, do their same job that when we are here,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, it's legit. All right, Mark, that's the last question. I didn't even realize how we were almost out of time. Listen, tell us when you're streaming before you go and stuff. Tell us
about to stream once I get out of here. Once I get out of here, I'm gonna go right back to my stream right now. I normally stream.
Do you stream every day around this time or what?
I stream from like 4 p.m. normally until maybe 10:30, and then I'll take a break. Or sometimes I'll even leave my stream there, but I'll take a break and then I'll watch some stuff, read some stuff, read my Bible, take some time by myself with a little bit of stuff right before when everybody's all asleep after 10, and I might come back after 1 o'clock.
That's what's up. All right, thank you, Mark, for coming and being my special guest tonight with Sativa and Bruno.
Of course.
Appreciate it. All right, you guys, make sure you click on Mark and favorite him while you have the chance. All right. And hit it with the fib. All right. That part. All right, Mark, thank you. You guys, if you're just coming into Meow and Me, welcome in. This is a featured pet show here on the platform. I'm Kitty Commander, your host. We do this every Monday night starting at 9 p.m. Eastern time. If you have a pet and you want to be on my show, please just reach out to myself, Emoji J, my admin, or hit me up on my Instagram and let me know you want to be on this show. Our last segment of the night is called Pets in the News with Cats Roar, okay? Cats Roar brings us some interesting information every week, and I love to post it on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram and Cats on Instagram, click on my bio. There's a link in there that'll directly take you to my Instagram as well as my YouTube channel. So both things. All right, let's get Cats in here.
Hello, happy Monday.
Hello, Cats.
Happy Monday.
I'm going to do the same thing I did here with Mark, with you. I'm going to click this thing 10,000 times. Ah, ha, 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 ha. I got it. All right, what's up, Cats?
Hello. So we're ending the year. It's kind of hard to believe, but I was trying to find some stories that maybe weren't all about the holidays. So some interesting tidbits that I found on the internet today. So to start, let's talk divorce. Ooh, not a fun topic. But I think
I've had one.
And I'm sure if I was married, I'd probably have one too. When it comes to pets, a lot of times it's difficult when relationships end. What happens to the pets? Because you have two loving parents. And what do you do? So
fight.
fight. Exactly. Well, exactly. So in Pennsylvania, there was a bill that was introduced to say that pets should be regarded as family members in divorce cases. So basically, this bill would recognize pets as family members, elevating their status in situations such as divorce. The Pennsylvania House of Representatives passed House Bill 97 that would elevate the legal status of pets as living beings that are generally regarded as cherished family members. Because currently in most states, pets are property. They're not viewed as similarly to children, for the context of the story.
Right.
So really what the bill does, and the bill did pass, however, it's not been written into law, but basically it's redefining what a companion animal is. And so that way, that's how they are elevating the status of a pet in something like a divorce proceeding. So it'll be interesting to see, because the bill outlines specifics about shared schedules, custody arrangements, and even the division of costs when it comes to the pet. So questions such as who provides more care, who is really paying the bills for that pet would all kind of come into play.
Oh, cats, what do you think of this?
I think, as we've talked about for a long time, and you see it on social media, you see it on the news, that we're humanizing our pets more and more. I don't think that's a negative thing in all aspects, you know what I mean? And so I do think that because we are humanizing our pets more and more considering them parts of our family, I think it only makes sense, unfortunately, that legally that pets should be considered more than comparison to, the TV in your living room or, the dresser in your bedroom. What do you think?
I mean, I'm taking my cats. If I ever was remarried, going through a divorce, I'm taking the cats. There's no way. Chuck is always, listen, he's been sitting here meowing for the last 40 minutes. Do you think this cat can live without me? No.
But I hear you, and I feel the same way, but I think there's probably couples out there that would probably be saying the same thing. The cat can't do without me, the cat can't live without me. So I think in those kind of situations, getting some law on the books might not be a bad thing.
Yeah, no, and you know what? And I feel like this goes to the trend that we talked about before about humanizing our pets, like you said. And then we know that Mary Finnegan, the Labrador, the yellow Labrador, we know in New York, they're suing for like the IRS to have their dog be a dependent on their tax returns. So like, I can say I get it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes there are some, for lack of a better term, silly things that we see come up in our news feed about pets. But I think when you dig down further into the IRS issue or even this, that there is some basis there for consideration for sure. So it'll be interesting to see what 2026 brings.
You keep the couch, I'm taking the dog.
Exactly. I'm taking the couch too. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about CBD. As we know, marijuana or recreational marijuana has become legal, from a federal and state standpoint in many states. But, there's also some consideration to CBD. For those of you that are not familiar with CBD, it's very similar to marijuana. However, it doesn't have the physical effects where, let's say getting high. But there are some proven positive things for pets who may be ill or elderly that are taking CBD, or those that might have stress or anxiety. So they're looking a little bit further into CBD for pets. As I mentioned, it doesn't have the psychoactive, that's the word I was looking for, effects such as THC, which some may be familiar with. And actually THC that many humans enjoy is actually toxic to pets and very toxic specifically to cats and dogs. But there's no denying, a lot of vets are saying that there are therapeutic benefits that coincide with CBD. How CBD works and how it works for all mammals, you know, your dog, your cat, and me, we're all mammals, is that it works with the body's endocannabinoid system. Sorry, I had to look at the screen for that one, which is all associated with neurotransmitters. So really, CBD helps the body to relax in terms of mood, helps with sleep, pain, and inflammation. And those effects are seen both in human mammals and in our domesticated pets. It also helps to assist the body with restoring balance after something like an injury or some sort of trauma to the body, that kind of thing. So for pets that might have osteoarthritis, itchy skin, epilepsy, anxiety, aggression, they're finding that CBD might be a very viable option to help treat those kinds of things without using, or should I say, in addition to using perhaps traditional veterinary medicine. Now, nothing is approved, meaning that vets cannot legally prescribe CBD products for any type of animal. Doesn't mean that they're not having discussions or perhaps saying, hey, that's something you might want to check out, but legally they cannot prescribe that. To give you an example, I had a dog who had a brain tumor. And because of that brain tumor, and he was also 14 years old at the time, he almost had something like sundowners, where when you think about folks who may not get fresh air a lot, older people, where when the sun would start to set, he would just kind of lose his mind and he wouldn't settle down and he would be very stressed. So I bought a very, I don't want to say high grade, I don't mean high grade in terms of the amount of CBD, but a high quality CBD supplement that I gave him at night. And it did the trick. It was something that really saved his anxiety and mine at night. So just something interesting. Like I said, CBD with pets is nothing new, but maybe in 2026, there might be some further research that would help in allowing veterinarians to actually prescribe, or maybe there would be better other options that are CBD based for our pets.
Wow. I mean, there's a lot of information out there around CBD, and I mean, I'm a fan, and you have a firsthand experience of using CBD with your dog, and it turned out to be the right choice. I think that's something. Do you think that's something people should talk to their vet about?
Sure. I mean, it's my guess that there may be some vets that aren't going to talk about it just because, like I said, it's not. But I think when you're talking about holistic remedies and it's not very expensive, those kinds of things. I definitely think it's worth the conversation.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Good. Yeah. CBD for me. No, I'm just kidding.
So all this, my last story, all this pet parenting talk, and it's funny how we're talking about the humanization of pets. We're talking about tax write-offs. We're talking about divorce. We're talking about all those things that sounds a lot like human stuff. But what's interesting is that pet parenting is not something that just started this year, last year, or even 100 years ago.
Nope.
There are very ancient roots that are associated with the view of animals being pets or something that we care about versus an animal that just does work or that benefits or feeds us or that kind of thing. So, it says, if you treat your dog like a child, don't be embarrassed. It's the end result of thousands of years of ancient history.
As it should be.
This story was specific to Canada, so I don't know if there's any Canadians in the chat. They said that 95% of Canadian pet owners count their animals as family. Again, not surprising.